I can't help you. There's something primal within each and every one of us, whether you are a Buckeye or a Wolverine, that when this week comes along, you get the chills. They've been doing this for 120 years. They have played 120 times. These two teams have played. They'll play for the 121st time on Saturday up in Ann Arbor. There is something that it connects us. It is the tie that binds us. There is a border that we share and not much else. The colors are diametrically opposed. The scarlet and gray versus the maize and blue. There aren't much in terms of ideals that you share other than location. That's about it. And at stake on Saturday is such a unique thing for this Buckeye football team. It is such a unique thing. This Ohio State football program is the standard with which all other college football programs are currently judged. There isn't anybody in the sport that's done a better job of mixing the tradition with the modern era of the sport, with an NIL component, with a transfer portal diligence, a player retention that we've never seen before. You want to talk about two coordinators leave and you go and get two guys who are more than up to it. Every single button that Ryan Day pushes at Ohio State has been right, except for this one. This is the one that's hanging out there. It is such a weird spot. I suppose from a global sports world perspective, it would be, I mean, I've said this before, like Ohio State is Real Madrid. I suppose it would be if Real Madrid won La Liga, won the Champions League, won all of it, but lost to Barcelona the two times they played them. There would be something empty to it. Is it the same as it was in the 10-year war? No, probably not. I mean, if you read about Beau and Woody in that time, one of the common things, especially from the Ohio State perspective, was the obsession that Woody had with Michigan, to the point that even sometimes it hurt them when it came to postseason or national championship, because all that really mattered to him was beating Michigan. That's what mattered. You think about Earl going 5-4 in the game and what it meant to him. And I'll remember when I used to do the Coaches Show with Coach Bruce, this week he would always say on this edition of the Coaches Show, "You're nothing in this town if you don't beat Michigan. You hear me? Nothing." And it resonated. You got to walk the back alleys. Like that's what he would say. Now the sport has changed. There's a Big Ten championship game, and there's a national championship that Ohio State won last year, and perhaps the loss to Michigan was the catalyst to it. We'll never know. There is no question that after that loss, the version of Ohio State that we saw was the one that we had all hoped to see. This year, it's been a little bit different. It's been a slow burn to this week. The eyes of the college football world were on you in the opener against Texas. College game day, big noon, everything that came with it. And then we kind of went away. And we win and we cover and we win and we cover, and they take care of business week after week after week. And you get through this November slog of 30-plus point favorites every single time out. And most of the time it is so easy. But it was always about this. It's always been about this. If you go back to conversations that we had in July, we said what? We didn't talk about winning a national championship. God, whoever thought that? They were replacing 8 starters on defense alone. You didn't think they were just going to flip a switch and go track down another national title. They have far exceeded any expectation that anybody had for them. Far. Already. But the one thing we said in July was, it's time to beat Michigan. It is time to beat Michigan. And you're going to go up there on Saturday, and by God, they're going to be able to do it. And it's my hunch that much of what's happened here over the last month was all in preparation for this. They were playing Purdue, but they were playing winged helmets. They were playing UCLA, but they were seeing Navy. They were playing Rutgers, but they were hearing Hail to the Victors in their head the entire time that game was being played. This has all been building towards this. How do you manage it? How do you handle it? Think about coaching players who have achieved all that these players have achieved. There's not a watch list in college football that does not have multiple Buckeyes on it. Every kid who has contributed, who is back for at least a second season, non-freshman, has a national championship ring. But they don't have gold pants. and they'd like some. I think Sonny Styles would like some gold pants. And I think a lot of his teammates would too. And you can't cheat that part of it. There's only one way to get it. And you're going to have the opportunity to do it Saturday at noon in Ann Arbor. Handle your business. You do that, and now we're talking immortality. And it's heavy, but that's what you sign up for. You didn't come here not expecting this. This one's in the brochure, guys. And I can't wait to see how this week goes. We got a lot of special things planned for you this week on the show. I can't wait to get to Saturday at noon. I don't like turkey anyway. Skip it. Let's go. I can't wait to see toe to football, and away we go in Ann Arbor. I don't know what to expect. And that's what the last 4 years have kind of done. Because before that, you walked around 10 feet tall and bulletproof. Beat them every year. This has been different. I don't care what the spread is. I don't care who's in, who's out. This is a show me state time for the Ohio State program. They don't get many of these, but they got one this week.
January 21st, everybody woke up, or everybody, I guess, you didn't sleep much after Ohio State wins the national championship game, but you see Texas on the schedule to open the season, the 2025 season, and you go, yeah, but beat Michigan. Mm-hmm. Like, this has only been on the minds of Ohio State fans since they summited college football's mountaintop last year. Like, this was the only thing that really mattered this season. You kind of thought there'd be the slow, long plod to it. You didn't think it'd turn out like this. You thought maybe a Penn State would give you a little bit of juice. Mm-hmm. But to your point about the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, it's all been the build. Will this work against Michigan? Will that work against Michigan? Hey, we're going to throw our quarterback, and then we're going to pull our quarterback, and then we're going to have the Lincoln Keenholz package. Will that work against Michigan? Because nothing matters. Nothing matters if you don't beat this team on Saturday. And to your point about kind of just going through a lot of motions, you know, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, I don't think there's anybody in Buckeye Nation that would expect those two to not see the field Saturday.
Who knows?
I am actually happy. I usually don't care what Michigan does throughout the season. I don't care if they lose every game usually. And I know people say, well, if they're better, that helps you. I don't care. I want to see them lose every game. But I'm actually happy that especially down the stretch here, Michigan has acted accordingly. Because there is a little bit of pressure on them in this game. Mm-hmm. If they did not have a shot at getting in the Big Ten championship and a shot at playing in the playoffs, they would have absolutely nothing to lose in this game. This would be their season. But they do have a little bit of pressure on them. And I like that because it seems like, especially from our perspective being here, that the pressure has been on Ohio State and Ryan Day ever since they won that national championship. And you can say, well, that national championship took a lot of pressure off of him, but all of that pressure comes right back if they don't act like they have all season long and do what they're supposed to do and go in and take care of business and beat a team that is inferior to them. All of it comes right back. All of it. And we can all say, well, no, maybe not. And for some people, maybe it's okay because the national championship is still obtainable. And if you do win back-to-back, regardless of what happens this Saturday, this is different, though. And in this town, it's different. And you don't have to win this game, but you have to win this game. And I think everybody understands, and that makes sense, even though when you say it, it makes no sense.
Think of the recent history that this program's accomplished. The first 4-team college football playoff, champion. Mm-hmm. First 12-team college football playoff, champion. A 7-0 run by one of your head coaches against Michigan. And yet this streak, dating back to 2019, where you haven't beaten Michigan, is the most pressure any of them have ever faced. Anybody's ever faced in that building.
Yeah, and there's this crazy stuff with it, right? Like they bailed in 2020 because of COVID, as if they couldn't field a team, and they bailed in 2020, which, by the way, guys, had you won that one, that would have been your 9th straight, which would have tied their record for the most consecutive wins in the series. And then you have Stallions and all of the stuff that comes with all of that. But that's what makes this thing so – that's why it's been such a bitter pill, and that's what makes this rivalry so great. I mean, it's a great story. In the HBO documentary, which you haven't seen, I can't not possibly recommend it more highly enough. The boys and I will watch it on Friday. We always do. Where Woody Hayes is serving dinner in Ann Arbor. And Archie tells this story about how the waitresses are a little too good looking for Woody. And Woody sent the waitresses out. Sent them out. Saying Beau sent him in there to infiltrate our dinner. And I won't be having any of that. Tom Skladany tells a great story about it. That's where we're at. There's going to be nerves. There's going to be apprehension. You probably won't breathe until this thing goes final on Saturday. But don't ever take it for granted.
This is why we love this.
This is why we're here, man. This is why you're here. That's why you love it. It's the good and the bad and all of it. It's the scars from the losses. It's the smiles that never end from the wins. This is what makes it all so special to do this show here and to be a Buckeye fan. Now, crazy Saturday. They covered, but it was a weird one. We will get to that because I think, quite honestly, it needs a little bit